Hello, friends. Do you realize that it's almost 3 weeks since the Holy Father came to Canada? And I don't just mean to comment on, wow, does time fly? But think of it, okay? So he came, and those major events and those major messages of his. And certainly after that, there was about a week of flurry of interpretation and commentary and calls and all of that. But since then, on both social media and the main media, it's been very, very quiet, if not nothing. And I mean, yes, in a soundbite world, we could expect that. But also, it's telling. What I mean by that is that in terms of all of this question of reconciliation of indigenous and non-indigenous in our church, in our Canadian society, we need some strong moments that really bring the issues out, further the conversation. But what we especially then also need is the ongoing, step-by-step effort to bring about that reconciliation. And it certainly was there with the Holy Father's visit, because the question, both from the Holy Father and from everyone, was, and now what? And now what? And so what I'd like to do in this message is just to bring forth a few ways in which our diocese is trying to respond to the and now what, and built on what we have lived and done in our diocese up to now. So, and what now? Well, as you know, I went to Edmonton. I accompanied a group of about 45 indigenous survivors, their children, some grandchildren, third generation, also with a few other people. And so a 16-hour ride bus. But it was actually a very good experience to just be there, be present, listening, being part of what they were living as they heard the words of the Holy Father at Masquatchis, as they heard his words again at Lac Sainte-Anne, and where he went down to those blessed sacred waters. And so for me, part of the and what is being attentive to the people, about half of whom I knew beforehand, but new people that I came to be in relationship with. The question now is, okay, asking them, engaging them in helping myself, the diocese, to see, and now what? And so already I will be meeting next week with some of those who went on the trip, and just bringing them the question, my thoughts, but especially wishing to hear their thoughts about the and what now. So that'll be part of it. Part of it is also continuing our conversation that has been going on for quite a while, actually, and then got stopped by the pandemic, is of how do we as a diocese foster a greater knowledge, appreciation, respect towards indigenous spirituality, their teachings, their values, their ceremonies, their way of approaching God, the Creator. And I think respect and growing reconciliation, growing just relationships and even friendship comes from coming to know one another. So we have an area, it's trees and grass just immediately north of the cathedral, and the discussion has been, how do we provide through that place the opportunity for elders to gather people, probably building of some small infrastructure, a sacred fire place, a circle, and where it'll become a teaching lodge, a learning lodge, where we provide and promote the elders being able to come and speak with people, share with people, especially since we're in an area of the city that has so much traffic of tourists, of people of the city. I mean, it's a very public place here, and giving that, working with the elders, working with the indigenous advisors towards having that as an ongoing process. Also, advancing, making progress on the question of, and this probably from parish to parish, like let's say St. Catherine de Caquita, the First Nations parish here in the city, with other parishes, inviting where people can meet together and speak about the dimensions of this whole area, the questions that need to be carried together. We're also in our diocese right now, and you can go on the website to see it, there's the offering of a program called Four Seasons. It's an online program, and by the First Nations University of Canada, centered in Regina. And it's about a 3 to 4 hour, you do it individually and online, and for the whole month of August, it's completely free. There's a free portal through the diocese with that group. So that might be something that you would take up, just to come to know more, so as to be able to be in a better position to meet people, to engage with indigenous communities, with indigenous people that are in our midst, in our church. Another example would be tomorrow, Friday, the 17th, no, not the 17th, the 12th, we have a group of young people, young men, and it's through Opus Dei, and they've been coming for several years, a group of 15, 20 young men going up for about 10 days in one of our native communities. They've been in several over the years, and they're arriving. We'll welcome them. We'll offer them 2 days of orientation, of meeting the elders, of just coming to know the situation, and that in Seguin, in Fort Alex. And then just even prepared at the most elemental of ways, but at least given the tools to understand and to appreciate the reality they will be in. They're going to blood vein. Half of a day they, on the days they're there, half the day they do catechetical work, meeting with the young people, and then the other half of the day it's manual work, it's physical work, working on this or that project need that the chief and band council have identified. So again, bringing people together. Bringing people together. I know at the level of the CCB, the Bishops of Canada come the end of September, when we have our annual plenary gathering of all the bishops. This will be a key issue that we discuss among ourselves, that we learn from one another and together set forth at the national level, and what next. Certainly around the whole question of doctrine of discovery. And one of my upcoming, perhaps the next message on Facebook here, will be about the doctrine of discovery, and giving you my sense of it, what I know, and also what I think needs to be done in regards to the Church's response, universal and Canadian, to this question. So, what am I saying? Stay tuned. Stay tuned to what's developing and all of the ways in which you, your family, your parish can be involved in this. That certainly is the effort and my desire, that it not slip from consciousness or remain an irritant, but that together we find the ways, we engage the ways to move towards all those things that reconciliation is made up of. Thank you.